Hello, good evening, Lily, or good morrow, whatever time you are listening, Fab Lifers. It is episode 16. You may have noticed you can see me better if you're watching on the U of the Tube. Episode 16, the Plattitubes post debrief / whatever else we're going to talk about today.
Well, I have to say, it's probably quite good that the Platinum Jubilee is over for some people, because as fun as it was a lot, wasn't it? It was a bit much at times. I was like, listen.
It was a bit much, yeah.
Happy to celebrate, happy to have fun, happy to celebrate. But it did get to a point where it was like, right, all right, okay, we're all tired. I mean, the Queen more than anyone, really. So
God love her.
God love the Queen. But yes, so kind of glad it's over, but had a lovely time. I did nothing the whole bank holiday weekend. Absolute nothing.
Did you not?
I just had no plans. I nearly went to the concert. That didn't happen. And I was kind of glad because I saw the crowds. Well, I saw the crowds in London, Lauren, and I just thought, Jesus H. Christ, I cannot bring myself to be doing that. I mean, it was just so busy. And you know what? I look at those crowds. I don't mind being among crowds or within crowds. And yes, I do prefer a grandstand and a nice VIP section. We all do. But, if push came to shove...
Sat next to Kate.
Sat next to old Catherine. But if push came to shove, I'd be happy to be out in the crowd. I'd be happy to even be touching someone's shoulder. What I'm not best pleased with, which is my first thought, was, Jesus Lord, imagine them all trying to get home. Imagine them trying to get home. That's what people don't see. They should do, like on, Extra Factor or Britain's Got More Talent, they should do the Platinum Jubilee. Press the red button and see the footage of people trying to get home, because it would put anyone off for life. Because getting the tubes, getting taxis, I mean, I bet Uber hiked their price up. I bet it was 70 times surcharge just for the Jubilee.
70%. That was the first thing Freddie said. He was like, oh, I know we're getting old, because all I'm thinking is looking at that crowd. Imagine trying to get the tube. Imagine trying to get on that tube. You just end up walking home, wouldn't you? You wouldn't see Diana Ross, because you'd just be like, do you know what?
I thought you meant Diana. I was like, I thought you meant Diana, Princess of Wales. I was thinking, she is not going to be there. Unless you're hallucinating.
Hate to break it to ya.
Well, I don't think anyone would have been bothered about seeing Diana Ross. No offence to her. She's an absolute queen. She's an absolute legend. But Jesus Lord. So apparently there was a bit of a mix-up with the vocals, and apparently I have it on good authority that people who were there live said she didn't mime, but she was so terribly flat and just not in the right key, and it sounded awful, that apparently I think they dubbed a guide track over her for the recording of the actual thing. So I was thinking, she's miming, which I wasn't that bothered about, but I was a bit like, oh, come on now. Come on. Don't mime.
Yeah, don't get a headliner if they can't bloody sing it, And
everyone, I tweeted it. I tweeted a few things, and everyone was like, oh, why'd you have to be so negative? Oh, she's 78. Just cut her some slack. I'm like, firstly, she's not going to be reading my fucking tweets, so get over yourself. Secondly... I'm allowed to, because all I said is she miming? I'm allowed to say it, but it was a little bit of a disappointing end to what I thought was a fabulous concert. Now, the only other person when I watched the concert, and bear in mind, I sat and watched the concert on my own, I had 6 margaritas. I had 6.
My God. It was long.
It was long, and I needed to get through it. But also, I just kept drinking them. I was just like, yeah, it's the fucking Jubilee. I'll never have one of these again. Yeah, 6 margaritas. Anyway, Rod Stewart.
Someone needs to tell him to pack it in, don't they? Someone needs to bloody tell him.
Do you know what? With these, old school performers, what I want to say to them is actually, I quite like it when they do the old hits, and I don't so much mind if they're not that good, because it's like, oh, do you know what? This is just nostalgic.
Like the showmanship as well.
Yeah,
and
it's like
showmanship.
Exactly, and yeah, you know, it's not you in your heyday, but no one expects that. But when he sang "Sweet Caroline," about
no one needs to hear that.
Well, I tweeted, I said, someone needs to send in a locksmith because Rod needs a key change. Because I tell you what, he was on a totally different key. And because Sweet Caroline has become this iconic song for football, I mean, I'd say iconic like loosely, song, but everyone knows it. I'm like, surely you know what key to start in with Sweet Bloody Caroline, Rod. Oh, it was just
probably hammered.
Awful.
He's hammered a lot. He's hammered a lot of the time. You know,
but really, would you be? I mean, would you be so hammered when you're going to perform in front of they estimated billions of people, like from across the world, and you're singing "Sweet Caroline"? I mean, is that all we have to offer? I mean, honestly, I was furious. I was just like, this is shit. It's absolute shit. I mean, it started.
I didn't mind it.
No.
But maybe I was tired.
What, you didn't mind "Sweet Caroline"?
Oh no, just the whole show in general. Rod,
no. The concert was great.
He's ripe for the pickings, isn't he, Rod? Whenever he comes on, I'm always like, oh, here we go. Like, me and Freddie were saying, we were like, oh, Freddie was like, there he is with all his ex-wives have come on as his backing singers there.
Yeah, when
White, and I was like...
when Six the musical came on, it was like, are these Henry VIII's ex-wives or Rod's?
They've all got a story to tell, I'm sure.
No, I didn't think the concert was shit. I have to reiterate. Like, I just was like, Rod, oh God. It was actually just Sweet Caroline. Everything else he did, I was like, yeah, you go for it, you know. Like, I quite liked it. And
what was the other song he sang? What else did he sing?
He sang...
Why did he have to sing that?
Didn't he sing Maggie May?
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging on. You know, like, it was good. I enjoyed it. The only thing I was disappointed at, actually, was I wanted the Spice Girls to make a surprise appearance.
I thought there would be... what were the surprises? There were a couple of surprises, but I was like, that's what I wanted. I don't want to see Simon Le Bon and his hair plugs. You know what I mean? Duran Duran did a full medley. Like, I want one song from them tops. I don't need more songs.
Duran, yes. And you could see...
His hair's so bad.
Poor bloody Charlotte and Prince George being like, who are these? Like, I mean, it was fine. Yeah, they didn't need to do that much. I feel like
Sam,
a bit of a bitch now because we're Sam Ryder.
Oh, no, bitch about it.
Do you know what? That's what it should have been.
He is an angel. I could cry looking at his face. Oh, he's just so
isn't
warm,
he? He just exudes warmth. But it should have just been stars coming on, doing a hit, and going off. But again, I'm not slagging it off. I mean, Jesus Lord, those projections on Buckingham Palace. I was like,
how did they do the one in the sky?
I think they were drones.
How did they do it? Whoa, that is clever.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because I texted my friend saying, imagine if someone from like around the world just happened to turn it on and they had no idea of the royal family and all they could see in the sky was this bright lit up corgi celebrating this 96-year-old woman and loads of people down the mall. They'd be like, what the hell is going on with the British people? It's just ludicrous.
The corgi obsession was a bit mad, wasn't it? Because, like, how many corgis has she got now? Because they can't be the original ones. Obviously, they must have been, like, dead.
I think she got 3.
You know what I mean?
I think she got 3.
Oh, God. Speaking of corgis, I should have done this last week, but I found some really hilarious merch. And I'm just going to, about the Jubilee. Merch, yeah. And I'm just going to do my faves, like the really ludicrous ones. So, first off, we've got... Queen and Queen's Guards dabbing baby onesie. So it's a newborns, and it's a cartoon queen and her guards dabbing.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, so that's like a normal one. The next one is very niche. It's a Queen's Jubilee chocolate orange cover. So it's a knitted crown that you put over your chocolate orange. What the fuck is that?
What, as in a terrace chocolate orange?
Yeah, and it's just like a knitted crown some granny's made, and it's £6.50, and you put it over your chocolate orange.
What on earth? Like, I understand a teapot cover. Did she just go? Did she try to knit a tea cozy and then she got her measurements all wrong and was like, oh, it's not
like
fit
Amazon.
my teapot.
Yeah.
You know what it might fit?
When you order off
it might
Amazon.
fit this Terry's chocolate orange. Does anyone want my Terry's chocolate orange tea cozy? And they'd be like, what?
Everyone wants the Terry's chocolate orange slightly melted. This is a really good one, and this next one is you have to kind of read. You don't have to read between the lines that much, but it'll set you back £1,395.
Oh, Jesus,
and it is,
what is it?
Yeah, it's a Platinum Jubilee portable wood-fired oven, and you're thinking, why would I need a Platinum Jubilee special one or just a wood-fired oven? And it's because the company Deli Vita create some of the best fire pizzas in the world, and they said you'd rather that than go to Pizza Express.
But what's that got to do with the Platinum Jubilee?
Well,
like, I'd want the pizza to come out.
Who was in Pizza Express not sweatingly?
Oh, I see. Okay, still a very like
Very
loose link
niche.
there. I would want them
link.
to say, listen, you can put the pizza in and it will come out with the Queen's face on the pizza base. Like, that's what I'd like. Yeah.
No, it's
not,
just they're making
not
a Pizza
Express her alleged nonce son, I should say.
Who had COVID. He had COVID.
Oh, he was posse for cozzy, wasn't he? Oh,
he wasn't,
my
was he?
God. Well, we don't know.
Oh
We
my
don't know.
God.
We have to take it at face value. We don't want to get sued by the Crown Estate because we know they're listening.
They're always listening.
But yes, apparently he tested positive. Oh, God. What a bloody... I'd love to have been in the room when that Latiflo showed up, I tell you.
Oh, God. The Queen was in there with a red Sharpie, let me tell you, writing that extra line on. She was like, you're not coming
Probably
there.
was. She probably was.
Oh, my God. Well, apart from the Jubes, tell us about your week. I mean, has it even been a week? It's been a bit mad, hasn't it?
Oh, and it just well, I have embarked on a fitness plan. It is time, Lauren.
I saw this. Tell me about it. I've just gone back into the calorie control today, Lee. We might be booking a holiday. I need to just feel better after this busy time I've been having. So tell me, inspire me, because I always say I'm going to do it and I don't.
Well, so the gym I used to go to back in London, I follow one of the personal trainers there, and he posted a little thing on his stories saying, I'm trialing out this new fitness plan. Does anyone want to get involved as like a guinea pig? I was like, me. Well, I just said me once, so I wasn't desperate. And so he messaged me a couple of days later. He's like, got this plan. Like, it's a 3-month transformation plan. And I was like, you know what? All I've done over the past
Long time.
probably 6 months is I've just coasted. I haven't pushed myself at the gym. Like, I'll go to the gym, I'll do about half an hour, I'll do bits and bobs, but it's not really like pushing myself. I'm not changing anything. And anyway, so he's put me on this plan and we're trialing it out. Well, it's day 2. Yes, I am drinking a glass of rosé. However,
it's been a hot day.
it has. The sun was out and I just needed it. But oh my God, I ache like mad. I've got the DOMS, the delayed onset muscle soreness. I've got the bloody
he is a dom.
DOMS. But so it's very tough. But I'm kind of like, I feel good about it, you know? And I don't want to lose weight. I just want to tone up a little bit. I want to feel a bit healthier. When I push myself at the gym anyway, yeah, but when I push myself and I'm properly going for it at the gym, I'm not the type of person that will go, I've been to the gym today, so I can go and eat a bag of, you know, chocolate.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
that.
M&Ms or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the type where if I've been to the gym, I'll eat a load of shit. I won't eat shit. And if I haven't been to the gym, I'll eat shit. So
I'm that person as well.
Anyway, then I had to bloody take my measurements to start the transformation. So I took my measurements.
Yeah.
Well,
take your measurements.
Blow me with a cold sore and call me Diana Ross, because I tell you this, I've put on bloody weight. And
since when? When did you last measure yourself?
Well, I can't remember the last time I measured my waist, but Jesus Christ, I was like, so I've got like trousers that some are like 28 waist. I could probably squeeze into them, but I knew that was getting tough. So I was like 30 max. Like before, I used to kind of, generally I was about a 29 waist. So I used to be able to squeeze into a 28, and a 30 was sometimes slightly baggy. I bloody measured my waist. Well, Mum measured it firstly. I was like, can you just take my measurements? She was like, right, 34 waist. I went, well, that's not true.
Could imagine
I was like, you've done that wrong. I was like, you've done that wrong. She went, I haven't. I said, you've done that wrong. Pass me the tape measure. Anyway, I did it. And I was like, oh, it's 33. And I was definitely breathing in. But like, I don't know how this has happened. I'm wearing 30 waist trousers right now, and they fit fine. They're not massively tight. So I think, well, they're obviously a bit stretchy.
Of foot, though, I think.
I'm like, yeah, the sizes of fuck. But I'm like, how has this crept upon me? And listen, there will be some people listening to this, you know, that is a 34 waist, or they consider that slim or whatever. And I'm not saying it's fat. I'm certainly not big by any stretch of the imagination. However, for me, I'm like, this is not something that I've done.
You don't look any different, though. That's the thing. I know people say that.
Any different. I don't. But I know that I don't. I can feel a little bit different, and I've lost slight definition in my stomach. So I know I've put on a little bit of fat. So I'm not bothered about that. Anyway, so that just knocked me for 6. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, shook up.
Are you running everywhere you go?
Well, no, because I hate cardio. So I've just like, I'm stopping. And to be fair, I have lived off ham and cheese sandwiches, margarita cocktails, chocolate button. So I'm like, where has this come from, guys? But at the same time, I'm now like, you know what? What I'm going to start doing, and this is what I said to my trainer, I was like, I'm not going to... What are you laughing at?
That's what I said to my trainer, guys. You just slip straight back into that, like, guys, I've got a trainer. I'm just me and my trainer.
You know what was funny about that? I didn't even notice it. I was like, what are you laughing at? That's so funny. Actually, he's technically my coach. Honestly. He's technically my coach because he does it online. He's not there in person. He like gives me the plan online.
Yeah.
It's my coach. Yeah. So I said to my coach, I was like, I said, listen, I don't want to disrupt my life. Like, I just want to make slight healthier choices both ways. So maybe a little bit less of the chocolate, a little bit less of the cheese, a little bit less of the old fashions, and a little bit more of the actual working out. And we'll meet halfway in the middle, and I'll be ripped. Anyway, it's day 2. I'm drinking rosé. You do the math.
Cheers to that. So does he do? Just one question. Does he do it live with you though? So it's like a PT class, but you're at home and he's at thingy, or does he just like send you a list of stuff?
He sends me. So he's got this app.
Because I'm intrigued.
He's got this app, and then I go on the day, and it'll tell me what I have to do. So today was lower, and it'll say each exercise, and it'll tell you how many sets you have to do, how many reps in each, and then you can record the weights that you did, and then obviously it records it, and then the really next week, or when the exercise comes back, it'll be like, this is your personal best, and blah 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 blah. But I mean, the first one, it took me about an hour and 15 minutes, whereas I'm usually in the gym for 30 minutes and I'm then fucked off. I don't even break a sweat. I'm done. I'm like, good, yeah, that's ticked the box. Whereas I was like, oh God, I actually felt faint at one point because I
hate that. You've got to get home.
Yeah, but because you have to record what you've done, it actually spurs me on to do it, and I'm quite looking forward to. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've done. What about you? So are you going on the calorie controlled diet?
Well, I'm not like mad strict with it. You know, when you first, I don't know about you, but like if you first use like MyFitnessPal, you'll put in like your cups of tea and everything, you know, like, and unless you have sugar, I think that's a bit pointless actually. Which I don't.
I remember when I had MyFitnessPal, and I'd come off a night out, and the next day it'd go, and I'd go, I just got to log my drinks. I had 2 gin and tonics, and it would be like I had 4 bottles of wine, I had 3 Sambuca shots, I had a Jaeger bomb, but I'm like, it was just 2 gin and tonics. I would refuse to accept how much I drank the night before.
Oh, it gets to a point when you're putting your booze in, you're like, I'm just going to stop now because I've clearly gone over my day's amount. Yeah, I'm just... No, I'm just doing it to be more like mindful, because I think once you start and you've got really into it, you're so mindful and like, you know what your portions are meant to be. So I just need to get back onto that, you know, not overindulging. And I've just been so tired because I've been working loads, so it's really hard to stay. You have to be so prepped if you're going to be healthy through those times. I haven't been. So it's just to try and trick myself into being like, no, you're going to meal prep for when you're working this weekend, because otherwise you eat
so good,
chips and wraps, and so that's me. And we're going to try and book a last minute haul the first week of July.
Lovely. Where are you thinking of going?
Spurring me on. Maybe like Italy or Greece, just somewhere hot. We just want a lazy holiday because we're both despo for a break, you know, darling, despo for a break. So watch this space. I'm sure I'll keep you updated. But yeah, the thought of going away and being in any form of bikini is just like, that's enough to spur you on, isn't it?
Yes. I need to get back into my bikini. Oh, good Lord.
Get them boots ready.
34 waist. I'll never forget. I said, oh, that's wrong. I said, you've got that wrong. To my mother, I was like, you don't.
I can imagine your mum with like a pin in her mouth, like, and the tape over her shoulder.
You're a 34. Like... You're a 34. Generous 34. I was like, you're wrong. I was like, you're a fraud. Get out of here. So yes, watch this space on both sides. We'll see how my plan goes. But I feel good and I feel excited and I feel like I'm gonna, you know. And I also told him, I said, listen, I don't respond well to drop and give me 20 and how much do you want this, bitch? Do you want it, you weak little fucker? I don't respond well to things like that. I respond well to gentle encouragement. I respond well to, you can do this, Lee, honestly, like, you can do it, well done, you're doing really well. I'm like, thank you so much. That's what I respond well to. He's crying into a sweat towel. Yeah, exactly. To my coach who isn't there.
Oh, well done, Lee. My online coach. Well done to you. I'm sipping I've treated myself to an icy cordial tonight. Ooh.
Lovely.
So cheers to you. Ooh.
But today, where did I bloody go? I went and saw a psychic medium. Right. Tell us how the fuck this started, because you don't believe in this shit. So when I saw that, I thought someone had maybe got it you as a gift, or you were humfluencing for them. You know, they'd invited you to come and have a sesh. What the hell is happening? Yeah, it's like, my name is Lee Pierre, and I often hear voices in my head. Therefore, I'm teaming up with this psychic medium. No, I was with a friend not so long ago, a few months ago actually, and he said, I went to see this local psychic medium. And I was like, what a crock of shit. Tell me more. You know, because I am very much of the opinion that it is as intellectually lazy to dismiss something outright than it is to blindly believe in something. So, for example, it's like when people believe in crystal healing. I'm like, okay, well, tell me how it works. Right, you've told me how it works. I've then looked at the evidence of why it doesn't work, and I believe the latter. So I'm now going to say that's a crock of shit. So I'm a little bit the same with psychic healing. Psychic medium. Sure. Not healing. But he told me a few things that this guy said, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But it interested me, and he was like, it's only £40. He's really good. You should go. Now, the trouble is, as a comedian, which some people may not know or believe I am, but I am. you kind of look for things like this to try and gather potential material. Yeah, so it's like when I used to go on dates, people would be like, oh, are you hoping it goes well? And I'd be like, I'm kind of hoping it goes terribly, because then I've got a great story to tell on stage.
I'm running out of new material, yeah.
So I was like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I lose £40, which is fine. But I could get a good story out of it. And actually, maybe, because I'm not 100% cynical. I don't blindly believe that it can't be possible. I'm just mostly there. Maybe something will happen. Anyway, so I went in there. Oh my God.
I'm imagining like he's wearing a serape, like, and there's like fucking tat all over the place, like you see in TV programs, and like tablecloths on every surface and stuff. Yeah,
so you're right about the tat. He wasn't wearing wearing just normal clothes. But when I got there, I went into his living room and I could smell incense to start with. So I was like, okay, I can smell that. And then I went into the living room. He's like, make yourself comfortable. He was like, would you like a coffee? I said, oh, I've brought my own. I kept wanting to go, well, you should have known that. You should have known I'd be 1 minute late. So
why did you take your own coffee?
Because it's nicer. And
not want to give anything away.
Yeah, but also I was like, he'll probably pour me instant, and I've got lovely coffee beans at home, and I've got a cute cup, and I thought I'll just have that on the way. Like, I was a snob. I don't want to drink his shitty coffee.
You didn't want him to turn around and be like, 2 sugars and milk, right? And you were like, how did you know?
No, I drink it black. I like my coffee
like Oatly barista if you've got it.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, so he went off to make himself a coffee.
Sure.
So I was like looking around the room. There was like fairies. I'm not talking about me. No, there was like
felt right at home.
There was like ornamental fairies. There was crystals. There was like a Himalayan salt lamp. There was incense burning, and I was like looking around, like, really giving it. Anyway, he comes back in. And he was like, "So, what's your name?" So I hadn't given him any information about myself, any at all. And he was like, "What's your name?" And I again wanted to go, why don't you tell me what my name is? But I was like, my name's Lee. And he was like, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I'll explain how it's going. I actually have the recording. Part of me wanted to go like it, because it's like a 45-minute recording. Part of me wanted to just release the full recording as a podcast episode. But I was like, no. And also it would be very boring. We should. But
is it like visual recording or just like a voice note?
Just voice. Yeah, okay. It's not visual. Sure. I didn't bring in my own film crew. Imagine, just going to set up this YouTube live.
Brought my own camera. And
you should have known this. You should have known this, Paul. Never gets old. So then he was like, I'll just explain how this works. So he was like, have you been to a reading before? And I was like, oh, yeah, actually, I've been twice before. And he thought, oh, so a few. And then I thought, yeah, no, I have. And then I thought, oh, I don't want him to think that I'm like this crazy person that just goes to readings all the time. No offense to anyone that does that. But so I was like, oh,
we lose half of our listeners.
Yeah. I was like, oh, well, like one I fell into, and then the other one I just like my friend recommended, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So he was like, well, I'm not tarot cards. So he had no tarot cards. He was like, I'm a medium. So, spirits come to me and like they'll speak to me and I can smell them and I can talk to them and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, great. And he was like, what are you wanting? Do you mind me talking to the spirits? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So then.
Sounds stressful.
He was like, well, I was wanting to laugh. So I was like sat there like.
I don't want to laugh.
Yeah. And so he's like, right, it's just going to take a minute or so. Let me just compose myself and just let them in. So just, yeah. So he closes his eyes And I'm sat opposite him, just like looking at him, and then like looking around the room, thinking, "Are the spirits entering?" Like, anyway, so he
and where do they enter?
Yeah. So he starts like putting his finger in the air and like pointing at different points of the room, and I was like, right. And then he goes, "What? That can't be right." And I'm like, like looking, I'm like,
it's like
what
Phoenix Nights.
I know. It's like he's like, and he's scribbling on his pieces of paper, and he goes, "Oh, well, we've got a lot of spirits in here, Lee, so I think we're gonna be busy." And I was thinking, "Oh Jesus, it's a fucking party!"
Oh my God.
So anyway, so I'm going, like loving it. Anyway, so he said a few things, but this is what really got me, okay?
Go on.
So he goes, I see that you're, and I don't know how he knew this, Lauren, you're actually attracted to the same sex, you're gay. Now, how he got that,
From you saying, "No thanks, I've brought my own."
No thanks, I've got my own Guatemalan coffee beans, thank you, it's the Sage Express. How he knew that, God knows. And I just thought, this guy has a gift from God. I didn't tell him I was, there was nothing there that alerted him to the fact I was gay. Yes, maybe I dropped my Liza Minnelli Greatest Hits vinyl on the way in that I just picked up from the record shop. But there was nothing. No, he did say that. He said I wasn't going to be lonely. He told me I'm not going to be lonely for the rest of my life, which was good. What else did he say? Oh, he said I was going to break America, Lauren. He said I'm going to be huge.
Oh my fucking God.
I mean, I don't know if he'd logged on to my fucking Fitness Pal app and seen my latest measurements when he said I was going to be huge. Maybe that's what he meant.
American portion size.
Yeah. He was like, you in America will look slim with your 34 waist. I was like, 33, thank you.
Come on now, Paul. We're all tired.
But actually, I'll tell you what he did say. God knows. But I'll tell you what he did say, actually. So apparently my granddad came and visited. My granddad, Colin.
Oh, that's nice.
Did
he know his name?
No, he didn't know his name. But here is something that he did say. He says to me, he goes, you've got a niece, haven't you? And I was like, yes, I have. And he was like, yeah, she's a sassy little thing, isn't she? And I was like, yeah, she can be quite sassy. And he was like, she's kind of like, is she 7, 6-ish? And I went, she's just turned 8. And he was like, right, okay, yeah. He's like, I didn't think she was too young. And then he goes, is she the one with the flower in her name? And I went, and I totally forgot, but her name, her middle name is a flower. She's called Hallie Rose Garton. And I went, but I was just thinking Hallie, and in my head I was thinking, is Hallie a flower? And I was like, no. So I went, and then I went, oh, and I went, oh yeah, no, yeah, she does have a flower in her name actually. And he went, Rose, and I went, yeah, Hallie Rose Garton. Now that was a little bit weird. And he said, yeah, there's a rose. He said there keeps coming up a rose whenever we talk about her. And I was like, oh.
What, whenever he's talking to Colin about it?
Maybe. But there was also apparently someone there who had died from asphyxiation, who he was like, maybe it was like suicide. Yeah. We didn't really talk much about him. But it was mainly Colin. But the thing is, I haven't had, touch wood, a lot of death in my family. So my granddad Colin in my direct family is probably the only person in the spirit world, if there is one. But he said he was very proud of me, apparently, very proud, and puts me on a pedestal and said that I'm going to go far. Said that I've been treading water for a few years now, but when it takes off, it's going to take off. And he says he sees me in America. He said he might break America. Oh. So,
shit. Well, we'll hold you to that.
I was waiting for him to say you're massive in Japan and Poland. I'd have been like, oh, someone listens to Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. Or should I say,
someone's
with
done his
Lauren and Lee.
I love it. With Lauren and Lee. Oh,
Hey, but listen.
Well, so it wasn't... Go on.
Well, no, I was just going to say I found some, talking of touch wood, I found some superstitions. Because I know we spoke about this before, but are you superstitious? Please talk for a little bit, because I feel like I've hogged the whole episode.
No, I'm not. Yeah, we have spoken about this before. I think me and you are quite similar in these... like on these subjects, aren't we? Like, you used to do that thing at school where you'd like spit on the third grid and jump over it, or like not walk under a ladder. But not walking under a ladder is because I don't... You know when you have 3 grids, you're not meant to walk over 3 grids, are you?
I thought you said third grade. I was thinking, do you mean like people in the year below, you would spit on them? Sorry, it's me breaking America. I'm like, the 3rd grade? What are you talking about?
He's just getting into the lingo, guys. He's just practicing, don't worry. He's just gonna put this in the trash can. Hold on. Sorry,
it's like I've just stepped out of Recess. Great show.
Really good show. They should bring it back. I'm not superstitious. No. Like, it's just not a thing. Because if you do any of the things that you're not meant to do, I mean... Yeah, I don't know.
Do you salute at magpies?
No, I didn't even know what that was until I saw someone doing it as an adult.
I did it. I honestly, I used to do it, and then I stopped because I like bumped into, like, I walked past a load of fucking magpies, and I saluted to them all. And honestly, I was like, you know, Cheryl Cole in Fight for This Love. I ended up being like down the street, just like saluting to all of them. I was like, and you. But apparently, touching wood, because I said touch wood earlier. So apparently, touch wood comes from, because would you touch wood? Because I do touch wood, actually.
Yeah, I do. And I think that's more like, is it more like a colloquial thing that they're like, because your parents do it? And also that's normally after you've said something that bad might happen to you, like your friends or whatever.
Yeah, so you'd say, so
you
like,
don't want that to happen. You'd rather, touch wood.
Yeah, you go touch wood. It's like, don't. Well, apparently the origin of this well-known superstition dates back to a time when some cultures believed that gods lived in trees. And what they would do is they would ask for a favour, and people would lightly tap the bark of the tree. And then they would say thank you when the favour was granted, so a person would knock lightly again on the same tree. So it's kind of like saying, touch wood, please don't let something bad happen.
Like
it's
praying like, to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, that makes a bit of sense.
Yeah, so apparently as well, black cats. So the superstition is a tough one for cat lovers to swallow, but in the Middle Ages it was a thought that witches kept black cats as companions, and some people even believed that these kitties would turn into witches or demons after 7 years. And apparently people such as Napoleon and Hitler were terrified of black cats. Think we could have probably spared a load of lives. Yeah, I know, in World War II. Just a black tabby cat being like, meow! Hitler would have gone, I surrender.
Throw that into the bunker, guys, you know.
Now, apparently saying bless you, do you know why we say bless you after we sneeze?
Is it something about demons, or is that just...
It is. So apparently when you sneeze, it opens up like a portal for Satan or demons to enter your soul. Oh. And if you say bless you, presumably the the password changes to enter or something. It's like, or you slam the door shut. Imagine a demon just getting there. Bless you. Oh, so close. So bloody close. I mean, what's the threshold for saying bless you?
I've worn my shoes as well. Bloody hell, he's still not letting me in. Bummer.
Apparently opening an umbrella inside. Now, I've read this, but I actually know that the umbrella one used to be that apparently, and it's not, it's a kind of superstition that's been born out of practicalities, because apparently back in the day, roofs used to be so low in houses, you know, we have quite high ceilings
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Ceilings back in the day were really, really low, almost just head height. So if you opened up an umbrella, carnage would ensue in a house if you opened up an umbrella in the house, because it just
catch it on the
knocked
thatched
everything around.
beams or whatever.
Oh yeah, So I think that's where, you know,
That one.
opening an umbrella
And there's always
inside.
rules, isn't there? People are like, well, it's not.
Yes,
if you
there's
open it
always
up, it's
rules.
if you go underneath it, you did not go underneath it. Or like new shoes, it's only new shoes on the table. It's not old shoes.
I know.
God.
I mean, I'll
So
never
many times
forget
I put my shoes
when
on the table. People are like, ugh. I'm like,
I know
"Chill."
people are weird about that. Mum's weird. Mum's a bit superstitious. Like when I moved back home, I got a new mirror for the bathroom because I got one of those with lights around it just to feel, you know, safe. And no, I'm joking. I got
just to feel like I still had a dressing room.
No, I got one of those bathroom cabinets, which was a mirror, but I could store a lot of my
Yeah,
toiletries
lovely.
in.
Oh,
'cause
I remember this. Yeah,
takes a lot for me
Yeah.
to, you know, look this haggard. And
to glow this hard.
I'll never forget getting it out of the box and Mum said, be careful you don't bloody break that mirror. I'm only just getting over the last seven years of bad luck when I broke my other one. And I just like imagine her with a calendar, like day 5,000.
Taking it off.
Like, it's ludicrous behaviour. Like, I'm only just
bless.
getting over my last 7 years bad luck. So yeah, that's superstitions. And apparently the ladder one, I'll end on the ladder one, is not just because, like, I always thought if you walk under a ladder, someone who's on the fucking ladder could fall on you and you could, you know, be toppled over.
Yeah, that's why I don't go under. Yeah.
But apparently a triangle, which is the shape of a ladder, I don't know if you know that, signifies life in some mythologies. And so when you walk through the triangle, it apparently is meant to tempt the fates, and you run the risk of awakening spirits that live within the triangle, including evil spirits who may not be happy with this disturbance. Ooh, so that's why you shouldn't ever walk under a ladder.
Sounds like an episode of Charmed, doesn't it? Like little imps living under a ladder, basically.
Yeah. So he gave me some of the predictions. He did say some personal things that I don't think I'll divulge on the Pod of the Sea. But
Maybe
who
later.
knows? If they come true, maybe we can do an episode where I'll say, this is what he said on this date, and look at me now, I've broken America. There I am.
Yeah, well, you've got the recording. So does he record everyone? Is that just how it works?
No, he didn't know I was recording it. Although he should have if he was a psychic. But I just recorded it on my phone without telling him. I just thought, why not? I mean, it's my recording.
Yeah. Why in the world not? Oh my gosh. And did you tell him your name or anything before you went? You know, because my worries is just
Didn't.
fucking Google you. So you don't?
Yes,
is that like the policy?
Well, I don't think that's the policy, but he never asked, and I never gave it. So he didn't know my surname. He didn't think he didn't know I was a comedian at first, or like presenter or anything. He thought I was. He said I'd go into like almost entrepreneurial type stuff. He saw that, and he said, but he kept saying creative. That was one of the words that he wrote down first. He said, your granddad keeps saying how creative. He's like, are you in the arts? And then he guessed design.
Of course he is.
Like, no.
He's at your house on a Tuesday lunchtime, babes. He's not exactly a lawyer, is he?
He's not got a job.
Sounds like
Of
he got
course
an
he's in the arts. Yeah, no. So, yeah, he said that. There was, I can't remember a lot of the things he said. The Halle Rose thing was quite odd. Although then, you know, my mind goes, well, he can guess a lot of kids have flowery names, and maybe it was just a
Well, it's all
stab
on
in the
trend,
dark.
isn't it, at the moment? Yeah. The roses.
But I mean, yeah, it was quite interesting. Oh my god! And he mentioned Danielle, our friend Danielle,
whose daughter's middle name is Rose, just FYI as well. Why
Oh,
would you say
really?
that, Danielle?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she's Mila Rose, isn't she?
Well, he said Daniel, and then he was like Danielle, and then he said about her, and was like, you met her in London, like, check in with her or something. And then he said, I've got this date in my head. He said, and it keeps coming. He said 27th of August, and I was like, That's Danielle's birthday. But then I checked, and he was like, no, he went 27th of August, and he went, or maybe a couple of days before or after, and then her birthday is the 29th.
Is it 29th? Yeah, it's the bank holiday, isn't it?
But at first I thought it was...
Why did she come up?
God knows. I thought that bitch is always trying to steal my bloody thunder.
Were you like, I would text her if she'd text me back?
To be honest, I was like, oh my God, is this the only way we get in touch with Danielle? Through the fucking medium spirit world?
This is her WhatsApping you back, finally.
My dead granddad has got in touch with me via Danielle.
She was thinking about replying, and then he got the message and like travelled down to Cleethorpes to deliver it.
I haven't told her I've mentioned her actually, and she definitely doesn't listen to the pod, so I might just snip this out and put it on Instagram, and she'll see it and be like, "What?"
Oh my God! Please do. This is the snippet. Yeah, the first. She'll be like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh golly gosh, oh golly gosh. It's only funny if you know Danielle, which about 4 of the listeners do, so I'm sorry for this private joke. Anyway, we've rabbited on, and when I say we, I mean me. But
You've had a lot of news.
But let us know, because actually I put a poll on my Instagram of whether or not you believe a poll. Paul.
Do you say Paul? Not Paul.
I don't know what I say anymore. I've broken America. I'm just completely, half American, half British. Also, don't start correcting me on the way I say things. I put a poll or a poll. I put a voting system on Instagram, and I thought it would be mostly because I said, do you believe in psychics? And it was kind of half and half. I need to double check, but when I last checked, it was half and half. Around about that. It's like Brexit.
Oh, share us the old results, because I am always intrigued. I do like, it's weird because I don't really believe in it myself, but like I do like hearing people's stories, when they've had a freaky one.
Yeah.
I
wanted to freak you on. He said, oh, your
maybe people can DM us. Oh, it's a bit weird though, that, isn't it?
I know, I was thinking, not always. Like, check in now and then, but like, leave me for a me time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Maybe cut off at 7 p.m. Do you know what I mean? You can't be that proud of me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God, I'm not saying anything else.
But maybe DM us this week, Fam Lifers, if you have a good psychic experience, like something weird happened to you, a psychic, and we like read some good ones out next week. Oh, I'd love that. Slip into our DMs, guys.
Or like friend, because everyone's always got a friend of a friend's story where they're not really their friend, but they say
like a creepypasta.
It's
not really true.
Because you never see it in like modern day. I want to know, like, I want someone to say I saw a ghost in Subway, or like, I wanted something modern. Do you know what I mean? Because it's always like, I went to this haunted castle and I saw ghosts, and it's like, well, you kind of would, but I would prefer someone to say, oh my God, the body of a young girl was at the end of my bed at a Premier Inn. And it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be modern. Why have they just cut off? Why are they always in a bonnet and a shawl? Why are they not in, fancy dress outfit as
someone who got run over in the noughties and she's just in prep? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wearing a miniskirt and a boob tube. That's what I want.
And some platform shoes.
Yeah, like, oh, I saw a ghost. What was she wearing? Jelly shoes from Etam. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what I want.
And a really big scrunchie.
Yeah, everyone's always got an image of an old woman. And it's like, yes, because you've seen stories of an old woman and you've got them ingrained into your brain. But anyway, I'm the one that's going to the psychic medium.
Yeah. In the meantime, do DM us with Fab Life Pod on Instagram, and just do all the good shit. Just listen to us, tell your mates, and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Pretty please. And we're on episode 16 of season 2. Can you believe we're here? Thanks for listening around the globe. That's all I've got, Lee. That's
all we've got. Well, we've rabbited on for about 50 minutes. So this has been episode 16 of Fab Life.
With Lauren and Lee.